online at sarterheyman.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Seinert.
I will know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
T is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 37 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. This is the Happy Hour. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Seinert, Enrique Alvarez Clary with you guys. Rico, what's up, man?
Hello.
How's it going?
Going great.
Anything exciting on your mind today?
Exciting on my mind.
Hey, happy Valentine's Day to my co-host, by the way.
Hey, happy Valentine's Day. I didn't get you any candy. I'm
I
sorry.
didn't get you anything either.
I'll bring you like one little piece of candy tomorrow.
That's right. We got plenty up in the front bowl.
I gotta personalize it.
Okay.
I gotta write your name on it. It's like Nick, Nick.
Please do a salted nut roll. I love
There you go. For Nick
those
from Rico.
So
There you go. No, nothing special in my mind. Just a busy day of things happening yesterday. Seeing that Jason Derulo is like a part owner of a professional volleyball team that's going to be in Omaha, kind of hit you. And I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Why is Jason Derulo? And so there's a pro volleyball foundation or pro volleyball league coming to the U.S. and Omaha's going to be one of the host sites.
Yeah. So Jason Derulo, Jimmy Burrow, Danny White, and there's one more that I'm missing on. Is it Jamie Burrow? They helped recruit Jason Derulo to this thing.
Jamie and the two
Jimmy.
Burrows. Yeah, Jamie and Jimmy.
But then Joey Burrow, the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback, is somewhat involved financially as well in this whole thing.
Yes.
So it's this kind of thing where the professional volleyball, where what their kind of release said, one of their videos as well said, was that it's going to give volleyball players that want to play professionally an opportunity to make a living wage over in the United States rather than out of the country to play professional volleyball. I mean, Nebraska's had plenty of professional volleyball players. Maddie Kubik is one that just signed a couple weeks ago, or about a month and a half ago now, to a professional volleyball organization over in another country. Justine,
Puerto Rico.
Yes.
She's in Puerto Rico. Justine is in Germany. I don't know if she's still in Germany. Jordan Larson is in Italy. Some former Huskers, Callie Schwarzenbach is also in Puerto Rico. Kayla Caffey also in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, big volleyball hotbed apparently. Didn't know that.
But so is Omaha now.
Now Omaha's going to be in that, and you don't know who you might see former Huskers joining in on this. The Pro Volleyball. I got to make sure I get the name. The Pro Volleyball Federation. That's what it's going to be called. Omaha is one of two cities announced right now. Grand Rapids, Michigan, the other. I think they said there's going to be around 8 teams. And they'll be working this week to announce the other remaining cities. But it's going to be really cool. The professional Nebraska, Omaha is going to have a professional team. The first professional, not semi-pro, professional team in Nebraska is going to be a volleyball team.
That's true. Unless you wanted to count like arena football. I guess that'd be semi-pro.
Semi-pro. This is professional. They're trying to
triple,
like you said,
AAA
livable wage.
Yeah,
is AAA livable?
Ooh, that's a whole.
That's the thing.
That's a whole other can of worms.
We can go down that later. They
want
to go livable wage and all of this stuff, and it's gonna be really fun.
With once again just kind of a random
Jason Derulo
investor,
part owner. They're looking for names on his. So if you go to Twitter, you go to Jason Derulo's Twitter. Yeah, they're looking for names. So if you go there on that tweet, people are offering up names for the new Omaha franchise. So if you go on there and you think you have a good name, go ahead and go to Jason Derulo's tweet. But at some point, they're trying to start up in 2024. The inaugural season will be in 2024. You might see Jordan Larson playing volleyball in Omaha in 2024. Who knows?
So 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Sarter Heyman text line, both those open for you guys the entire show today. So let's go back to that Husker basketball conversation for the remainder of this first segment. And feel free to call or text in, comment on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream as well. 402-464-5685. If you aren't subscribed to the YouTube, by the way, make sure you do that. Now, we were kind of talking there in the crossover of does Fred Hoiberg have enough potential on his roster to kind of warrant saving his job, right? That's the big conversation, and it's going to only grow over the last couple weeks, especially if Nebraska finds themselves on the losing end of a couple games. But now, like, you look at this, and Nebraska's in a weird spot to where they haven't necessarily been in years past under Fred Hoiberg. You think about everybody that they've always brought in through the transfer portal. And Matt Abdelmassih was a big part of that. He had limitless connections, and Matt Abdelmassih obviously is a big reason why Bryce McGowan's ended up coming here, and Fred Hoiberg as well. But now we're starting to see it in this next offseason, especially, I think, if Fred Hoiberg does get to return as Nebraska's head coach. There was always this looming idea that Fred didn't want to recruit. And that's why a guy like Matt Abdelmassih was in place. And with that, what we're going to find out this next year, and frankly, personally, I'm not too concerned about it, is you're going to find out that Fred Hoiberg's name still carries enough weight around the basketball world to draw talent and draw eyes. We're seeing it this season to where they bring in Adam Howard from a smaller school, from a mid-major school. I want to say it was Southern Illinois. And then you bring in Ernie Ziegler from Mississippi State and add him to the staff of Nate Lenzer. You lose Armand Gates to Oregon last season. And in 1 year here, Nebraska, although they utilize the transfer portal, and yes, Sam Griesel is playing out of his mind, and Derek Walker, who was a transfer guy multiple years ago, it feels like he's been here forever. He's obviously a captain and a leader on this Nebraska team.
You kind of forget that he transferred from Tennessee. It just seems
he's been here forever.
He was recruited here, and he's been here.
So what's interesting as we go forward here, Nebraska has, we've seen the development of Derek Walker. We saw that in his footwork and in his game around the hoop this season, how much it's evolved from not only just last year, but previous years as well. And now,
shooting
due
59%.
to the unfortunate injuries of Emmanuel Bandamel and Juwan Gary, you've seen the emergence and the potential and talent of two guys in Jamarcus Lawrence and Denham Dawson, as well, if you want to throw in there Sam Hoiberg. And although, Wilhelm, we got this text on the text line. I got to scroll down a little bit. Here we go. Travis and Lincoln says this: I think Fred should stay. However, you can't have walk-on players outplaying scholarship players. And then he names a couple of them. They need to get more frontline scoring next year. I think, I mean, you're right about that, Travis. But I think if you sit here and say, yeah, there's some diamonds in the roughs, or that we're seeing some production from guys that we didn't expect to see, and they're the reason that we're winning games or contributing to Nebraska winning games, you're not going to get too frustrated with it, I think, because now looking forward this next season, you'll have Juwan Gary return, but then you have a guy in Jamarcus Lawrence that you're not too concerned about just kind of sliding him into the starting role next year and giving him that Emmanuel Bandamel role. Or
being like a secondary ball handler, because that's kind of what he's been doing after Bandamel went down. You kind of were using him as your secondary point guard, and then Sam Hoiberg, who, again, probably wasn't expecting to get much playing time this season, gets slid into that third point guard role and is playing some really important minutes and coming up with some really timely plays for Nebraska. So, and that's kind of something that might actually help Fred as well. And because you people are going to say, oh, it's his son, that's why he's got the walk-on spot. No, he was a really good player in high school. And also the development that you've seen from him, being the walk-on player that he is, possibly not expecting to play that much. And the fact that he was able to slide into the starting role or just slide into the rotation and is able to give you this good of production from, maybe an undersized point guard for the Big Ten. And again, a walk-on player, not a scholarship player, but he's giving you invaluable minutes. that's got to go somewhere towards the coaching staff for development, which is something that they've kind of been held against them, which is why they've been going into the transfer portal so much. They get a walk-on. Yeah, sure, it's the coach's son, whatever you want to say about that. But he's gone from not playing, not expecting to play, to playing crunch time minutes in overtime, getting a clutch steal and hitting a clutch 3 in a 10-point win against a Big Ten team.
So I'm looking at Nebraska's roster, and it's made up interesting because one of the biggest gripes from Husker fans about how Fred has kind of orchestrated his roster and during his time here has been the fact that they've had to dip into the transfer portal quite a bit to field a team and field a roster. And I think that's going to probably be the approach going forward. They can't, put that off to the side forever, but we're kind of seeing the best of both worlds here. And I think there's a lot of expectation and excitement. A guy like Ramel Lloyd Jr., who 6'6", 204 pounds, kind of that point guard that you kind of expect to potentially replace Sam Griesel in the starting lineup. But just looking at it next year, and this is if Keisei Tominaga decides to return, Nebraska's starting 5
Man, I hope he comes back.
could look similar to this, where it's Ramel Lloyd Jr., Jamarcus Lawrence, Juwan Gary. Maybe you probably slide Wilhelm Breidenbach into that 4, or you slide, you probably slide Wilhelm Breidenbach into the 4, and then Blaise Keita as your 5, because once again, you saw kind of the impact that a healthy Blaise Keita could make in the game on Saturday, and why he was the JUCO Player of the Year a couple years ago. You also have, if you want to go a little smaller, and Wilhelm Breidenbach, you don't want to put him at the 4. You can go a little smaller and play Juwan Gary at the 4, and bring in a guy like Denham Dawson to start the game. CJ Wilcher still has a couple years of eligibility if he can find his groove, although he's been struggling as of late. And then you also have a guy in Eli Rice who's going to be a true freshman. That, talking to a couple of the guys that pay more attention to the team than I do, a couple of the media guys, they believe that a guy like Eli Rice would be playing now if he would have enrolled early like Jamarcus Lawrence did. Now, obviously, that's with the help of some injuries, but he's down at IMG Academy in Florida playing some of the top-level competition down there. So
they've got him listed as a power 4. They've got him listed as a 4.
Yeah.
He's 6'6", 190. At least that's what he's listed as, but they've got him listed as a 4. So again, if you wanted to go with a more smaller lineup, you could put him at the 4, or put him at the 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to have Blaise Keita, if you were still not sold on Wilhelm for whatever reason, you could have Eli Rice at the 4.
Now, and then you also have a guy that in Coron McPherson that has not been able to play a whole lot, and he unfortunately had that knee injury this season, but has not been able to play a lot. But he's from New York, and if you know anything about high school basketball or just kind of prep basketball on the national stage, New York basketball players, I mean, they know how to ball, they know how to play the game, and they're pretty aggressive as well. And so that Coron McPherson, 6'3", 197 pounds, has been in the program for a couple years, just hasn't been able to get healthy. So
they're going to have a weirdly tall lineup.
Which is changed, which is completely changed, because think about the conversations that we were having last season, or even at the beginning of this year, is when you didn't know what Blaise Keita was going to be like. And I think we still don't. I think the jury still is out on Blaise Keita. But when you looked at that team, it was like, man, Derek Walker is just unfortunately so undersized, but he's being asked to do everything. And at one point, that's not the case anymore, I don't think.
I mean, he's 6'9". You've got just going through the heights really quick of some of the guys that you were talking about as possibly being starters, and even a guy that you didn't mention, but CJ Wilcher is 6'5", Ramel 6'6", Karan 6'3", Juwan 6'6", Jamarcus 6'3", Denham Dawson 6'6", Blaise Keita 6'11", Keisei is going to be the shortest one out of all of them at 6'2" if he decides to stay. Wilhelm 6'10", Oleg 7 foot. Like they're 6'2" and above. Everybody is, and I understand, it's basketball. That's kind of what you want, but the core of that, everybody's 6'6". So you're going to have a strangely tall lineup, with then Blaise Keita being probably your tallest impact player at 6'11".
So Travis and Lincoln chimes back in, and Travis, we appreciate your input, and feel free to call in or text in anybody, 402-464-5685. Travis says this: I by no means am saying that you can't find a diamond in the rough as a walk-on. I'm simply saying that scholarship players need to hold up their end of the bargain too. Travis, I completely understand. Don't worry, man. No hard feelings. He also says we better bring in post player scoring. Blazing and Wilhelm are not threats on offense. Now we don't know what a grown up Blaze looks like, or maybe a year under another off season looks like with Blaze.
Fully healthy Blaze looks like.
That's a good point. And then also with Wilhelm, people get so caught up in quickly saying that Wilhelm's like not athletic and can't move. And I understand to a certain extent where you might believe that. But I also, and this is through talking with Strick, and Strick will be able to talk more about this on the crossover and on the block, that Wilhelm's best game is when he doesn't have to put the ball on the floor. But unfortunately, when Wilhelm catches it out on the perimeter, he's kind of forced to. And so that's one of the weird things as we go forward. Like Wilhelm had that expectation for the right reasons. And I don't think Wilhelm's career can be summed up or should be just kind of like put off to the side now because of what we've seen in instances, because we've also seen it to where he can not necessarily be a spot up shooter, but whether it's his mid-range game or whether it's work around the hoop, he for some reason likes to go with a left hand a lot. But there was a time against Illinois where he went on like a personal 11-0 run or a 13-0 run against the Fighting Illini when Nebraska needed him most, and that was prior to Keisei Tominaga really kind of taking over this roster in terms of offense.
Put up 13 against Kansas State in a game that was
a blowout.
Not a blowout for Nebraska. He was one of the bright spots. He put up 13 points. He's shown the ability to be an offensive threat, more or less, for Nebraska. It's just kind of what you said. Although in high school, he was able to take the ball and dribble and get around people and kind of use his height and his athleticism to his advantage in high school. In college right now, against some of these bigger guys, some of these faster guys, him dribbling, still getting kind of used to it, and he isn't really able to do that. If he's able to spot up, I understand that his 3-point shot is a little bit to be desired right now, but the fact that he's willing to take it means he has the confidence, and he's been able to make that in practice because he's not being pulled when he takes those shots.
Yeah,
which means Fred has confidence in him making that shot. Fred allows him to take that shot. So that makes me believe that he's able to make that. And once that shot starts falling, it's going to open up so much more for his game. Maybe that'll open up his ability to drive to the basket.
It'll also open up other people on the floor.
Oh yeah.
That's the key too. I mean,
and again, a healthy Blaze, the number one JUCO player, I'm sure he has some sort of offensive game.
So, all right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll dive into more. Husker softball has a gauntlet this weekend. We'll let you know who they play. We'll also be joined by Nate Rohr of the voice of Husker softball tomorrow at 1:30. But yeah, they have a gauntlet. We'll tell you about it next.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team where you'll get paid while training. No experience required. Enjoy great pay and benefits in a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 266 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Rain will be a possibility off and on throughout the day. We'll see a high of around 49 with south-southwest winds at around 15. Overnight, mainly cloudy with a low dropping down to around 28. Only a high of 32 tomorrow. Northwest winds gusting over 35 and an increasing chance of snow by late in the day. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you put your clothes away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. We encourage those who go out to make smart decisions behind the wheel or plan accordingly to have someone lined up for a safe ride home. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
I'm Brian. At 58, doctors told me I had the heart of a 37-year-old man. They told me that after my heart transplant surgery. If you're a smoker, here are some tips in case that happens to you. First, you have to quit smoking before you can get on a list for a transplant. So quit now. And never feel sorry for yourself. I don't. I only feel sorry for that 37-year-old man.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This weekend, Thursday through Sunday, or maybe it's Saturday, Thursday through Sunday, Nebraska softball will be down in Clearwater, Florida for the Tax Act Clearwater Invitational. Now, Nebraska softball. They have a gauntlet. They will face, in the country, they will face the number 2, number 4, number 5, and number 8 ranked teams this weekend. And that starts on Thursday at 4 p.m. That's 4 p.m. Pacific. So is that 6 p.m. Central Time? 4 p.m. Pacific?
No, their first game is Thursday at 3 against Oklahoma State.
Oh, excuse me. I'm looking at UCLA. So
Yeah.
I'm looking through UCLA's schedule.
No,
So
their first game is
they face Oklahoma State up first. And then as the schedule I'm looking at is against UCLA. UCLA, Nebraska faces the Bruins on Thursday at 6 p.m.
Yes.
Now, I was
Both of
looking
those are
at
on
this.
ESPN Plus if you want to watch.
I was looking at this, guys, and
That was your first mistake.
Nebraska will face off in that game, in game number 2 against UCLA. Face off against a player named Maya Brady. You might recognize the last name.
What?
Niece of Tom Brady, Maya Brady, plays for UCLA. Now, she was elected National Player of the Week, I saw on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I wonder what her statistics were. Nebraska this last weekend down in Houston outscored opponents 24-1 in all the games combined. They're 4-1 on the year because they unfortunately lost 1-0 to South Dakota State. We'll see what the statistics are for Maya Brady. So I pull up UCLA's statistics and get this. Maya Brady, through 6 games, UCLA is 6-0, and 4 of those games were run rules. And through those 6 games, Maya Brady is hitting .813. She has 13 hits in 16 at-bats. She has 4 home runs in 6 games, 14 RBIs in 6 games. She has scored 13 runs, and she has been walked 6 times. No strikeouts for Maya Brady, and she has stolen 3 bases on 3 attempts. So that is just the caliber of player that Nebraska is going to, and I can't wait to ask Nate Rohr tomorrow at 1:30 about this, because
when you ask him, can you just say Maya Brady ?
How does Nebraska stop Maya Brady? Number 7 for UCLA, because once again, .813 is absolutely bonkers.
That's
now
everything.
I understand that it's only 6 games into the season, but UCLA, I'll just rattle off the scores of what they won by. We thought it was impressive that Nebraska outscored opponents 24-1. And I will say this is about to similar caliber of opponents. UCLA won their first game 3-0, then 18-1, then 11-0, then 8-0, then 14-0, then 5-2. So if we do quick math, it's 29, 37, 53, 56, and 60. They outscored opponents this weekend 61-3 in 6 games.
That checks
61-3.
That checks out.
In 6 games. Now, obviously, it's skewed a little bit because of that 18-1 win in there against Cal State Bakersfield. But that's just one of the teams. So once again, Nebraska softball will have to play the number 2, number 4, number 5, and number 8 ranked teams in the country this weekend in the Tax Act Clearwater Invitational. Going to be, this is the test, right?
I'm
This is
looking
the
up all
test.
of the other teams' schedules and what they are currently like. So right now, the order that Nebraska plays them: number 5, Oklahoma State; number 2, UCLA, both on Thursday, both on ESPN Plus. Friday, only one game: number 8, Virginia Tech on ACC Network.
Jeez.
Saturday, only one game against Texas A&M on ESPN Plus, and Sunday they finish off with number 4, Arkansas. That'll be on SEC Network on ESPN. So I'm looking up everybody else's schedules. Oklahoma State, the most impressive. They're 3-1, but they have the most impressive schedule. They were in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, for their first tournament. They played Oregon, North Carolina, Maryland, Ole Miss. They won against Oregon, who was 24-22 at the time, 3-0. Beat North Carolina 3-2. Lost to Maryland, 6-11.
I saw that. Yep, I saw that.
And then beat Ole Miss, who's receiving votes in all of the polls, 3-0.
Gotcha. Oklahoma State also, I'll say this, that's the team that kicked Nebraska out of the regional last year. They went down to the Stillwater regional.
They have a pitcher who is 2-0 and has like 23 strikeouts right now.
Which, if you want to talk about another pitcher before we get out of this break or get out of this this segment, if you want to talk about another pitcher, just that Husker or just general college softball fans, and just Nebraska wants to have the pulse on Nebraska. Oklahoma has a starting pitcher, Jordy Ball, who is from Papillion La Vista High School, obviously here in Nebraska. She does everything. She is potentially the best player in the country. And
she got an RBI double in their first game, her first at bat, that she was, by the way, the starting pitcher.
Yeah. So, she does it all. So if you want to turn on some quality softball, Oklahoma is always a good option. They'll be on ESPN, I'm sure, a couple of times this year as a top 5 team in the country. But once again, whenever you see or hear the name Jordy Ball, just know she was the Gatorade Player of the Year 3 years ago in the state of Nebraska. She's starting her second year at Oklahoma, and just she's from Papillion La Vista High School. So just a phenomenal athlete that obviously you somewhat are drawn to her because she is from the state of Nebraska.
Quick run through of the other teams before we get out of here, just real fast. Virginia Tech's 5-0. Their best win was a run rule win against East Carolina in their first game. Texas A&M is 6-0. Their most impressive win. Michigan State, they beat them 4-0. And Arkansas is 5-0. Their most impressive win, probably Baylor, who they beat 11-7.
Yeah, so we also got a text here. You're right, actually, from unnamed texter, says watch out for Ruby Malin out at Washington. I want to say that she went to Scott. I need to look her up. So Ruby Malin is a freshman pitcher from Scott Catholic High School. So shout out to that unnamed texter for reminding us about her. There's Abby Squire will tell you too, and John Squire, obviously, they'll tell you there's good talent around the state. And maybe it gets overshadowed because you have a player like Jordy Ball, and then you have a player like Abby as well, who's a junior captain at Nebraska. Let's get out of here. Crossover with Austin and Strick is next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's efforts. It's the entire dealership. Sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
Husker Nation, Amy Williams and Nebraska women's basketball needs you February 18th at 1 p.m. as the Huskers take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. We need your help to sell out Pinnacle Bank Arena for the first time ever. For event and ticket information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nutrition Authority invites you to try Anarchy, which is an exciting new pre-workout for athletes and gym enthusiasts who want the most out of their workouts. Anarchy can only be found in Nutrition Authority. Remember, when you want results, the solution is simple. Nutrition Authority. Stop in, call, or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Rain will be a possibility off and on throughout the day. We'll see a high of around 49 with south-southwest winds at around 15. Overnight, mainly cloudy with a low dropping down to around 28. Only a high of 32 tomorrow. Northwest winds gusting over 35 and an increasing chance of snow by late in the day. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Look at him and tell me there's a God.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
On
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the Happy Hour on the Ticket, ticketfm.com. Nick is out thing called school to go to. So I'm joined by the hooligans from the hooligans from On the Block. Stricky and Austin. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Fantastic. Living the life.
Rainy.
Feeling great on this Valentine's Day.
It's a dreary Valentine's Day.
It's a good day to stay inside.
A little fireplace action. Maybe
all I'm saying is it's a good day to stay inside.
Wine inside.
Or you go outside and be super cliche, kiss your girl in the rain.
Oh, wow! A little notebook.
And I'm not
little
saying
new
just
edition.
saying.
Can you stand the rain?
Not saying
get your waterproof speaker. If we get to go look at this, we're giving you guys great ideas. You're welcome. First off, secondly, gentlemen, I wanted to ask you. Nebraska's headed to the RAC, formerly known as the RAC.
Always and forever known as the RAC.
Jersey Mike Center. On a scale from 1 to 10, how confident are you in Nebraska getting out of there with a win?
I'd say 5. And the reason I say 5 is because I really think, one, they've been struggling as of late. They've lost a few. They understand the ramifications and the needs to take care of home in order to secure any opportunity of getting into the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
The importance of this win and to not have what may be a quad 3, 4, depending on how it is rated, loss at this time wouldn't look good on your resume. If you're a bubble team, you may be on the outs of it now. So that's the way I look at it. I think Nebraska's going to come and play. And, as it's always said, you play to win the game. And you're going to have to show up. You're not going to just be able to walk in and just think that Nebraska's going to lay down and say, hey, take that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'll give it a 2.5 out of 10 confidence-wise. Rutgers in Nebraska are similar, but Rutgers just does it better. They've done it longer. I will say 10 out of 10 confidence that neither team shoots better than 45%.
Oh.
You want to put some stricken on that?
And 11 out of 10 confidence that neither team breaks 71 points.
Wow.
Ooh.
Rock fight.
There's a lot on that.
Yeah.
Sutter Heyman text line. I would love to see you tap in tomorrow, 402-464-5685, and make note of those
remember this
deep-seated
what was it? Okay,
mental
one
notes.
more time.
Neither team shoots better than 45%, and neither team breaks 71 points.
Wow.
As soon as somebody hits 72, I'm tweeting at you.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as it happens.
Yep.
I'm taking a picture. I'm going to go, you're wrong. And then I'm going to wait for the end of the game.
What if K-State gets hot
Greasel goes for 20. Casey for 25. D. Walt goes for 18 with 8 assists. CJ Wilcher goes nuts tonight.
What is?
Ooh, and we're tweeting you.
I'll be happily wrong.
Question: When is the last time 3 Huskers were in double digits over 15? Because getting to 10, like it's double digits.
It was early, and I can't remember the game. I want to say maybe Florida State. I think it was maybe Gary. I think it was Gary. Greasel and Gary Greasel and Walker.
Was Walker back for that one? Because that is the thing that you get Nebraska scoring wise.
If you know on the Sutter Heyman text line, Texas.
Yeah, you can kind of rely on Walker to get you a cool 14 around there, maybe more. But he'll get to double digit scoring. K-Say lately, the last 3, I think he's averaging 24 points a game, so he's good to go.
I know Vandermill wasn't in there, maybe, but 1 or 2 times.
Griesel's hit or miss with the scoring, but he'll do a little bit of everything else. So it's just in terms of scoring wise, you're not going to have a lot of people in the double figures over 15, where that's, I would consider that a good scoring night.
Against Iowa, Nebraska had 5 players in double figures, 14, 10, 10, 12, 13.
See,
and not a single one hit 15.
No, see, and that's the thing. Like over 5, to me, like 10 is good, 12 is good. Once you get to 15, that's a good scoring night. Like you were on one.
Yeah, and that's been very rare. It wasn't early like in Omaha games or nothing like that. No, I don't know.
It's gonna be hard to. It's gonna be hard to go back.
Go through the games that I thought were balanced.
Yeah, go through a bunch of box scores.
Yeah, Sutter Heyman text line will tell us. I'm telling you, they're good.
You're gonna have to go through all of the games that were over 60 points.
Right.
But that would be good if they could pull that off tonight.
Oh, it would be massive.
To be honest, they still, in order for any success tonight, they're going to have those 3 to play well again.
Going to Rutgers and winning a game is hard for good teams.
Yeah.
If Nebraska can go to Rutgers and get a win, that makes this season feel, and maybe just for me, that makes this season feel a lot better, because I know it's just 1 win, but that's just a place where like nobody wins. For whatever reason, it's a weird place.
Is it fair to say you have 3 opportunities for signature wins left on the schedule?
Yeah, I still think you got that.
Michigan
Iowa.
State at Iowa.
Yeah.
You get any one of those 3, I think that's a signature for this group without the 2 starters.
I agree.
Oh, yeah. Those are massive wins. So I want to go off of basketball real quick. Did either one of you hear that the city of Omaha is getting a professional volleyball franchise?
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's pretty deep.
Do you want to know who one of the part owners is?
Warren Buffett.
Jason Derulo. I'm not kidding you.
That's cap.
Jason Derulo, a part owner of the pro.
So we'll see him regularly. Will he do a
way.
show at halftime or at the one of the breaks?
The Pro Volleyball Federation has announced that Danny White, who's a businessman in Omaha, and Jason Derulo are co-owners of the new franchise in Omaha.
Well, that's crazy. So we'll see Derulo doing a couple songs.
Yeah, and that explains. I noticed this back in October, just fall time, right? Jason Derulo was at Vala's.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
He was at Vala's Pumpkin Patch in Omaha.
Oh,
he rented it out or something. There was like nobody else there, but the workers were there, and then took pictures of them. Maybe he didn't rent it out. Maybe there were other people, but I know that the workers were taking pictures. Like Jason Derulo's at Vala's Pumpkin Patch, and I'm like, why is he here? He was scouting it out. He was checking it out. And part owners or not assistants, but they're helping out with the Pro Volleyball Federation, the entire league.
How many teams are there now?
I think they're going to go with 8. Right now, only 2 cities have been announced: Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Omaha, Nebraska.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I know. But people, a family that has helped get this whole thing going, the Burrows.
Oh, wow.
Joe Burrow put in some of his money to help this go. His dad is helping out with the whole thing. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's big Nebraska connection.
I love it. Yeah. I love the fact that it's going to provide opportunities, for the women after post.
They want to provide
you know what I mean? Not just the USA, USA team. I mean, actually, I think that would be dope. And listen, between here, somewhere in Texas, definitely Arizona, places like that, they're very big. I mean, obviously California.
Put a team in California. Put a team somewhere in Pennsylvania for the Penn State program.
They're very big.
They want to provide a professional league for volleyball players that isn't overseas, and they also want to pay them a livable wage. So it'll be a legitimate professional league, and I think it's just crazy. The first, outside of, somebody mentioned on the text line, the KC Omaha Kings for a while. Outside of that, this will be the first professional team in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Not semi-pro.
Yeah.
Professional.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I think
it's a volleyball franchise. That's awesome.
Do we know where they're playing the games?
No, not yet.
I would bet you it'd be
Baxter?
Baxter. I would think it would be Baxter.
Probably Baxter.
I think
unless they can get CHI.
Never.
They're
It won't be
expecting
that
they're
big.
expecting a lot of people.
Not that big yet. I think
If they
if
get
you
enough
give it a few
Huskers on the
years,
team,
I think
a few
yeah.
years.
Well, that's what I'm
I think
saying.
give it a few years.
So the inaugural season will be 2024, and I think Jordan Larson only has a 1-year deal with the team that she's playing with right now, currently.
We don't want her back. She coached at Texas.
But then she came back and she coached at Midland or Concordia, one of
No,
those
she
places.
coached at Texas this season.
No, she didn't.
I thought that was this season.
So things happened.
Oh.
She was there and then she left. She came back here and she was coaching at a club team or helping out with a club or something in Omaha. And she was going to either Midland or Concordia, I don't know which one, and helping out there. She was like an assistant there. So she started off, she was going to coach for Texas, but before the season started, she left for whatever reason and came back here.
So she's still one of us. Good.
Yes.
Excellent.
She wore the colors for a little bit, but
just to be a double agent, it appears.
She was checking it out.
Okay, fine.
But that's going to do it for the happy hour. We got about a minute left. I was going to ask you guys, the XFL starts this weekend.
Yeah.
More football.
That's going to be interesting.
Have you chosen your team?
What are my options I can't pick?
You can't pick Seattle, San Antonio, or St. Louis, or DC.
Give me Houston and Wade Phillips.
Okay. You want to pick an XFL team?
I'm going to have to
You're going to pick an
dig
XFL
into
team?
it. No,
all right. There's 8 teams. 5 of them, 6 of them are taken.
I'm going to have to dig into that one.
It's okay.
By tomorrow.
I got the Seattle Sea Dragons. Yeah. We're going to be great.
Garbage.
are gonna be great.
Great garbage.
I picked the Birmingham Stallions before the USFL season last year. Won the
How'd
championship.
that go?
Won the championship, baby. We're great. It's my team. It's my squad.
You're a bandwagoner.
Let's go, Sea Dragons! That's going to do it for the happy hour. On the block up next. Stay tuned. Adios. Shopping for insurance can